Good morning. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm 2 miles away from the road. At that road, it's 3.5 miles into town. I'll either hitch or walk. It don't make a difference. I checked the register. I only have to do 4 miles today. I'm 4 miles away from 501 shelter, which is really somebody's garage tricked out. It's kind of like a hostel. So you're indoors, there's electricity, there's power, there's bunks. So basically, that's going to give me all the time I need to recover from yesterday's 31-mile hike. Personally, I feel great. I feel great because I drink water. Remember that. Anyway, I'm still going to take that time and chill because that's the way I planned it. You got to keep your promises to yourself. You can't tell yourself, I'm going to do this, and then do it. And then instead of keeping your word, keep going. The worst thing I can do today, even though I could do it, is do 15 miles to the next shelter. That's just not something that you want. Just pretty much keep your promises to yourself. This is the best way I can do it. Number one, you always plan the safest plan. And number two, when you get to the point where you're talking to yourself and ripping yourself up again in the back of your mind, your body's going to be like, you're lying. I don't want to do anything you say kind of thing. So, maybe I'm babbling. But at any rate, the next shelter from here is 4 miles. 2 miles I'm going into town. I'm not going to stay. First thing I'm going to do is clean up. There's a Pilot gas station and they sell showers and all that. So I'm going to clean up and shave. And then I'm going to hit some hotels, see who has the best internet so I can upload a few videos. Then there's a McDonald's in town. I'll hit that. And then there's a Dollar General, and I'll hit that as far as resupply goes. And then I'm going back out of town, and then I'm going to hike these 2 miles to the shelter. And then, like I said, you can order pizza at 501 shelter. So at some point, I can order some pizza tonight, and pretty much go from there. Here's the thing, though. The opportunity does exist that when I say opportunity, that don't sound right. But anyway, it's a possibility. Yeah, that's the word. It's a possibility that I may have to walk this whole 3 miles. All right, somebody may not want to pick me up. That's fine, and it's all factored in. So if I have to walk in town and walk out of town, that's 7 miles, and 7 plus 4 is 11 miles. So worst case scenario, I'll do 11 miles today, where I'm walking into town and walking out. So either way, there's a buffer there. I'm gonna relax anyway. I'm looking forward to taking a nap when all is said and done, more than I am to eating McDonald's or taking a shower, because I know I'm going to get to rest today. All right. And by the way, it's 6 o'clock and I wear shades. What's the point in that? When you get up in the morning, the first thing you're going to notice when you're hiking in the morning is cobwebs breaking over your face. And I don't know what these spiders are doing at night, but literally, if you could put yourself under ultraviolet light or something, you'll see all these strands hanging from you like you just walked through, yarn or some cobwebs in a scary house. So I do this for 2 reasons. Number one, when it's cold, it keeps the cool air off my eyeballs. And number two, in the mornings, when I'm breaking trail, it keeps the spider webs out of my eyes and face. That's a very eerie feeling, so that's why I wear the glasses. Now, this is kind of a wide trail, but even in this wide trail, I still feel the spider webs coming across me. And it's a double-edged sword because, number one, I'm tall, so even if I'm hiking behind somebody, the spider webs are inundated throughout the trail in various heights. So even if I'm walking behind somebody, I'm still going to get slapped in the face with spider webs. So there you have it, out here. By the way, I'm at 1,200 miles right now. That shelter was at 1199. So today's June 5th, and I got 8 more days to go before my monthly anniversary, and I'm already 400 miles in. And it's like I told you before, if I average 500, which isn't a problem, I'll be done in August. And I'm not racing. I got nothing to race for. I'm just taking my time, enjoying the hike. But like I said before, the terrain will dictate how many miles you do in a day. I could have stopped when I did the 18, but it was 12 12 o'clock. And you know, I mean, like I said, it was cool. I could have, but I chose not to. But there's a caveat to that too. I mean, it's like I told you, I prefer to hike for 8 hours, rest for 8 hours, sleep for 8 hours. Yesterday, I paid the toll because I hiked for 12 and a half hours. The terrain wasn't so bad, and 31 wasn't that bad, but I was still up on my feet for that long, which is why even though I feel okay physically, I still know I was walking for 12 and a half hours. You know, you got to you got to pay yourself back that rest, you know. And then I got up at like 5 o'clock. So, you know, you don't want to build up a deficit. You want to make sure you stay strong, even when you don't feel it. You got to be sure you stay strong and just do the right thing. So, out here. Earlier I said Waynesboro. It's actually the town of Bethel. This is the street that'll, I'm just gonna walk down the street 3.4 miles or hitch if somebody picks me up, and that'll hit the town out here. All right, it's 7 o'clock. I got a hitch in. I'm at the truck center. I want to get cleaned up, and then we'll hit the hotel out here. I'm in the shower room right now. I'm in the shower room right now at the gas station. I'm gonna get cleaned up a bit, shave, all that out here. Now that I got my shower, I'm feeling fresh. I'm going to the hotel right now. I'm going to the hotel right now to load some videos and eat breakfast if I'm lucky out here. By the way, the time is 7:30. Time is crucial. It's always crucial. I didn't mind waking up at 5:30 because I thought I'd have to walk the whole 3 miles, but time is what makes all this stuff works, because you only got a limited window as far as the hotel when they're free breakfast, right? And then you still got to keep in mind the whole time factor in general, as far as distance that you have to cover and what you need to get done after you cover that distance. It's all about planning out here. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, the time is 10:26. I just got back from the Dollar General. Well, while I was eating breakfast at the hotel, I struck up a conversation with a couple that was there. Anyway, they decided to give me a ride, and actually they're my new friends on Facebook, so they can follow with the whole video experience. Some people never heard of the Appalachian Trail, so when you explain it to them, they just say like, that sounds impossible. Nobody would hike that far. And so I gave them a link to my Facebook so they can follow me there. And he gave me a ride to Dollar General. I got all my stuff done. I'm back at the trailhead. I'm going to do 2 more miles in the 501 shelter and take a nap, period. I'm not so much tired as I am drained, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, it was a good breakfast. I mean, the Hampton, dude, check this out. They actually give you grab bags on the way out, right? And that guy said the Hampton actually feeds you dinner as well. That's like a bed and breakfast. But then when I asked him how much does it actually cost us to stay there, he said $130. I'm like, yeah, that is well out of my price range. So anyway, that was real nice of the hotel worker to hook me up and give me breakfast and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all proper planning, you know. So I'm going to pack up my meals and everything, dump this trash, do my 2 miles, and then I'll show you 501 shelter. For the record, the Hampton didn't have the best internet, so I couldn't upload a video. I got like 45% into it, but I was still able to like make movies. And you know how you stockpile the movies up, and then when you get a chance, you can upload them. So I got something out to do. So out here. As my new friend dropped me off to the trail, we passed 2 hikers coming down the hill, and something dawned on me. So I'll go ahead and say it now. Take 2 hikers. Unless one of those hikers is a female, as in 1 male, 1 female hitching, that's a good thing. You have a better chance of getting picked up than 1 guy standing by himself. However, if there's 2 hikers and both those hikers are male and they're hitching, that's just not going to work out. That's too intimidating. I mean, you got 2 burly male guys. Who's going to do that? I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'll put it to you like this: you'd be better off hitching by yourself as a guy than hitching with another guy. So two guys together, you know, it's just like I said, it's too intimidating. So the problem they were doing, they were too close. They should have just separated. If that would have been me and we come to the thing, I would have walked away from him, or I would have stopped and let him get ahead of me, and then I'd throw my thumb out. Okay? And like I said, if it's a couple, I don't know. People just like couples for some reason. It just rings of safety, I suppose. So that's just something to think about out here. As you can see, the first 2 miles when I left the shelter to go to Highway 645 was just like this, gravy. So I got 2 more miles to get to Highway 501. And if it's like this, I tell you what, today's been an easy, fresh day out here. Trail is still gravy. This is the intersection at 501. And just on the other side of here is the shelter thingy. I'll show it to you. Let's go take a look. Porta potty is the privy. And this is the shelter slash house. Alright, it's a lot of pizzas. Let me help you with that. You appear to have a burden. Okay, I thought they had electricity. My bad. I overspoke. They don't have electricity, but it's still a roof over your head. And I thought, because of this big skylight, I thought there were lights in here. But nah, this is what you get. But it's okay, you know. You can order the pizza and all that other stuff, and you got potable water and so forth. So I'm going to claim this bunk right here, and I'm going to take a nap. And then I'll do some more video editing. It is exactly 12 o'clock. We were breaking down pizza boxes, and by the size of that pile of pizza boxes, I would say it was pretty busy here last night. I got my camera with me. If anything's worth showing, I will show it to you. Right now, I'm going to bed out here. You know, I clocked 1,200 miles in these boots, and they show it. When I get to Cabela's in Harrisburg, which is coming up in about 40 more miles, if that, I'm gonna have to get some new boots. And I gotta tell you, those things, they really weathered well. If you want to know more about the AT, there is an AT journal. All you have to do is call the Appalachian Trail Conservancy and just set up, you know, if you just want to learn more about the AT in general. All right. How you doing? Morning. Today we're going to do 24 miles into Port Clinton, which is a small town. From Port Clinton, you can hitch into a town called Hamburg, and in this town there is everything. But the biggest thing is Cabela's. And I say that because it's supposed to be the biggest Cabela's in North America. It's time for me to get some new boots. They've served me well. And so I'm going to get another pair at Cabela's. A southbounder said that there'll be trail magic today from like 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock at a pavilion in town. Here's the deal though. I take everything a southbounder says I take anything anybody says with a grain of salt. I'm not going to break my neck trying to get to some trail magic that probably won't be there. And even if it is there, will probably end up being a granola bar and a bottle of water. So am I going to break my neck to get there at 2 o'clock? No. But I did file it away. All right. Now I will admit, I did hit the trail at 6 o'clock because if I did the math properly, that will put me in town 1 hour earlier than what I would normally get there. So where I'm at right now, to do this 24 miles from my location, I should hit town by 3 o'clock. If I go, 3 or earlier. So I imagine if there is something going on, there'll be some remnants of it that remains 1 hour later. So that's the plan for the day. And by the way, I feel fresh. I did like 4 miles yesterday. I ate well. That 31 miles, the 31 miles that I did beforehand is not even there anymore. It's just, it's nothing. It was nothing when I did it. So, out here and looking forward to a good day. By the way, there weren't a lot of people there. When I got into the 501, as you saw, the caretaker was breaking down pizza boxes. There was 9 boxes. There was a lot of people there the night before. Last night, there wasn't much. There was a family, a couple of hikers. It wasn't much at all. But I'll keep you posted out here. I met a day hiker, a section hiker in Virginia in a hostel. For the record, his name was Candyman. Anyway, during the hostel stay, we exchanged information, and he said, well, when you get up in my area, give me a call. I'll see what I can do for you. And I said, oh, all right. So I took his information, and instead of putting it in my wallet or something, I opened up my trail book, okay? And I filed his information under Delaware Water Gap because that was his area, all right? And then I forgot about it. So as I'm going through the book, I'm about a week out from Delaware Water Gap, his information falls out. And I was like, that's right, So this is how you handle that situation. So that's the point of me doing this video. When people say, look me up when you get into my area, all right, the way you want to go about that is this. Well, when people say look me up in the area, this is what the normal person does, and this is what I've done in the past. You will call them, say, a day before you get there and be like, hey, I'm coming to that area, right? And now they have no time to plan, and they'll say something like, well, what time will you be there? And you're in the woods, you don't know. So they'll throw out an arbitrary time. Be at such and such place at 3 o'clock. And you being excited because they're there for you, you'll say, sure. And for that next day, no matter what, rain, snow, rock storm, whatever, you're going to break your neck trying to get there at 3 o'clock. Maybe you will make it, maybe you won't, but it won't be a good experience. It's going to be too much stress, too much anxiety, because you had to plan on the fly like they did. Okay? 9 times out of 10, you're going to be late, or it just doesn't work out smooth at all. Another instance is you will get there and you'll call them, and then it's a hurry up and wait game, or they'll be like, I wish I had prior knowledge. I'm sorry, I'm at the hospital with my, whatever, or I'm at the kids' football game. So the way to handle that is this way. What I did was I called Candyman I didn't expect him to answer the phone because no one really answers the phone when they see a number they don't recognize. So I left him a voicemail. I told him, this is me. We met at the hostel. I'm getting close to your area. You said I can give you a call. Okay? And then I said, what I'm going to do, what I said is, if you want to help me out, this is what you can do. You know, you can send me a care package with blank, blank, blank. What did I say? I said like 3 dinners and 3 breakfasts, and that'll help me out when I get to that town. I will text you the particulars. Hung up the phone, and then I did all the work. I texted him everything he needed to know as far as where he can mail this stuff to. Okay? So that's done. He has a week. That, first of all, that's his area, number one. So he can mail it one day and it'll get there the next. But the point I'm trying to make is he has a whole week to decide if he wants to help me or not, and how he wants to go about doing that. And I gave him everything he needed to know. So it's like, it's just perfect, you know? So when I get to town, well, one or two things will happen. He'll either send me a text that says he can't do it, or he'll send me a text and say he will, or he won't send anything. When I get to town, it's nothing for me to just walk to the place that I told him to send the information to, and I kept the text so I can look on my phone and cross-reference, and I'll just say, hey, is there something for me? If there is, cool. If there isn't, there's no harm, no foul, no stress, okay? So that's how you handle stuff like that. It's best to just have them send you something to a designated location, giving them all the time in the world, so that way no lines get crossed, you know? It's perfect, really. So anyway, it's kind of winded way, but that's how you handle stuff like that. And by the way, I got 3 more addresses. For example, there was a lady doing trail magic when I was on Blue Ridge Parkway. She gave me her information. There was another lady at a campfire the first day hiking out of Damascus. She gave me her information. And so it's like that, you know. They're thinking that when I get to town, I'm just going to call them. But, you know, I understand, man. Life is life. You don't know where I am. You don't know if I'm going to make it or not. All of a sudden, somebody call you out the blue. I'm not going to put you in that situation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you like artillery, way out. I'm going to call you when I'm 2 weeks out and be like, if you want to do something, you can send me something here, da-da-da-da-da. They got time to think about it. They got all the time in the world to do it. And when it works out perfectly. And that's one more reason why when you get the chance to not necessarily forge relationships, but you're going to get people to be like, hey, I admire what you're doing. How can I help? Or they'll say something like, well, if you're ever in my area, you know, and this is like 1,000 miles away from you, or like if you're ever in my area when you pass through Maine and when you pass through New Hampshire, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, I'll just write that information right under where they say they are and just forget about it. You open a book, you see a number, you see a name, and you be like, that's right. You know, you got nothing to lose. It's 50-50 chance. All right, out here. Rock Central.